Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And today we're going to be finishing up the weekend sales of May the 1st through the 3rd. I don't know what's happening here. We are not getting our stuff done on time. Just doctor's appointments and kids and life and what?
Naps.
No naps. No naps here. But yeah, we're running behind. I'm going to get caught up. But this video is, like I said, Friday through Sunday, and had a couple of really nice sales. So, you know, that always helps in the grand scheme of things with all the numbers, and quite a few sales on the other platforms. So let me go ahead.
Shh, don't do that. This is Saturday, May 16th. So on Tuesday, the 19th, we're going to be headed to Dayton. We talked about that in the video we did the other day. But Tuesday, the 19th, we're headed to Dayton. We'll be there that afternoon and there all day Wednesday.
Yep. So.
And then they're leaving on Thursday mornings at some point. So if you're in the area and want to come by and say hi, we would love to see you there and go out to lunch or something.
Yep. All right, now let's get to what sold. First three sales are Poshmark. First thing that sold, weird. Oscar Mayer mobile mini figures. I don't remember where I got these from, but the two of them sold on Poshmark for $17. I just did this. They'd been here for a while. I took them over to the house to take pictures on the clothing board. That's what you're seeing up there, y'all. We altered our picture board for clothing and put it so that there's stainless steel. No, not stainless steel.
It's actually the sheet metal that you would fold into pieces of ductwork.
Yep. And now we can use magnets to hold our stuff up. So that's what you're seeing there. Very cool. Really has helped with like sheets and blankets and the things that I need to take pictures of. But these were two Disney baby crib sheets that I picked up somewhere for Winnie the Pooh, and the two of them sold on Poshmark for $20.
All right, so let's talk about how to do this. Step one, you take the two extra magnets and get them out of the screen. You put them over the edge. The others, the way I do it for, do I have a pair of jeans or anything here?
I meant to clip it down, but
the way when I do jeans, I basically take them and put them inside the waistband, like on the, like the back pocket area, so that you can't see them in the pictures at all.
I just threw them up there, threw the magnets on there. And then Build-A-Bear. This is a little shaggy dog. It's one of the smaller plush, sold for $9. And then Etsy. I had quite a few Mercari, so I'm making them, you know, the last of these before we get to eBay. Quite a few Mercari. It has just been shining. All right, first thing that sold. Now, again, these first three on Etsy, I hadn't started my sale yet. It always shows whatever the price would be, whether it was not on sale or on sale. But this Dakin white mouse from 1987 sold for $24.95. This was nice. I probably had 3 dozen of these. I picked them up a long time ago. I think I paid like $5 for a case. All of them, everything, $5.
That was at the 100 Mile Yard Sale.
Yeah, it was 100 Mile Yard Sale a long time ago. And I'm down to, I want to say maybe 6 left. But yeah, it's been forever. This cup and saucer sold for $14.95. And then this was nice. Playmobil, huge lot of horses, cows, donkeys, saddles, accessories type stuff. This was from that large lot of Playmobil that I picked up at an estate sale that sat here for probably 2 years before I ever got to it. And this ended up selling at the full price. I want to say like $109. Here, let me just scooch up here a tad. You can look at what it actually sold for on your stats for those of you that sell. Oh yeah, so $109.95. And then last but not least, this one did sell on the sale price, so the one that you're seeing. But these are some Peanuts, Sandy Lion, Charlie Brown stickers. These were in that Snoopy lot that we picked up a couple of years ago. Nice, nice sale. Sold on Etsy for $53.95. And then Mercari. First thing sold was this tie, Pluffy's Berry Mary Bear, sold for $8.95. Hasbro Marvel Legends Abomination, sold for $10. Then I had a bundle offer on Mercari for these rabbits. First were these Cuddlewit pink rabbit lot. And then this next one also for a total of $31.92. So this one, and then this other Cuddlewit pink rabbit plush. So nice, nice sale. $31 for 3 vintage rabbits. And then this was another one, Swiggles. I'm pretty sure Swiggles is something that you get at like Dollar General, Family Dollar, one of those brands. But once, you know, they've gone through their system, they're hard to find. And this little yellow duck with the dots sold for $24.95. And then a pair of silver jeans, Suki Capris, sold for $11.41. And then eBay. Leggy white bear plush. I don't remember where I picked these up at. Never again would I pick these up. I'm thinking Leggies was like legs, something like that. It was a department store. These were from 1988 and they finally sold $22.45. Douglas Baby, my first doll with the teddy bear, sold for $15.25. Little Tykes, I love finding them, but I don't find them very often. This was syrup, ketchup, mustard lot for $17.95. I'm sure I found those in the bins. This is a Walmart blue rabbit plush with the little polka dots, sold bread and butter, $8.96. Again, another one of these stamp pins that we have had forever. And then this is probably the 5th or 6th one that has sold probably in the last month. Got an offer for $6. Make it gone. Next item was actually a local pickup. Somebody contacted me, lived in the next town over. I went in and I changed the listing to local pickup, and we met at the local Mennonite store because I needed to go shopping anyway. And it sold for $22.45. Just make sure if you're doing a local pickup, meet somewhere in public. And make sure you get the code from them, because as soon as she showed me the QR code and I scanned it, it marked it received, and then there's no issue. So just make sure you go through the proper procedures and be safe. I took Robert with me.
Yes, y'all. Absolutely be safe, because unfortunately there have been people that have been hurt or worse when doing the meetup, whether it's an eBay. Typically it's going to be more of a Facebook marketplace meetup, but absolutely be careful. A lot of police departments, from what I understand, have in their parking lot have a camera monitored spot for people to pull up and do that sort of thing. Here, a lot of people go to Walmart. You see them all the time at Walmart, and there's a Facebook group that's local that they auction stuff off, you know, in the comments, and you have to meet up at the local movie theater parking lot on Fridays between 2 and 5 or whatever their time is. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of people there at that time. So it's safer that way.
And then I sold this Hawaiian doll, plastic, souvenir type doll, cute outfit, sold for $16.51. Applause dinosaur plush. Now these are the larger ones. There is actually a smaller one also in this series, but these were 2 that I picked up at the bins. They are very, very overstuffed. So make sure if you ever find something like this and you're going to ship them, they need to go in a box. But again, these were large, so it was probably better anyway to put them in a box just to kind of get the size proper. But they ended up selling a nice sale, $31.43. Sesame Street Elmo hamper bag from 1996 sold for $10.25. Pier 1 Imports. Don't find a whole lot of their plush anymore, but this was Harrington Bunny Rabbit, sold for $13.45. IKEA bread and butter for this one. It was like a reversible Prince and Frog plush, sold for $8.24. Shrek and Donkey plush. I picked these up at the bins. Same series, same brand, everything. Sold for $16.51. And last but not least was this Toe Mart's price guide for G.I. Joe. I think somebody gave me this when I was buying a bunch of other stuff from them. So I don't think I had any money in it, and it sold for $18. And then Robert had one sale on Poshmark for that weekend. It was these American Eagle women's shorts. They sold for $15. And then these next 7 items sold on Sunday only. Hadn't had sales before Friday or Saturday, and then 7 items on Sunday.
That was the weekend that eBay was down. There was a really bad outage or something that I think was affecting them, and people were really struggling with sales. And then when Sunday happened, it just exploded those 7 sales in my account.
Not mine. First thing that sold were these Can women's jean shorts, sold for $15.91. Next, Carhartt men's jeans, sold for $17.68. Ralph Lauren striped top, sold for $19. Just Say Whoa, that was the brand. Men's denim jacket. It had like a raised co-op lettering on the back. Sold, finally, been listed forever, $31.21. Not a great sale. Picked up a bunch of snapback hats once upon a time, and they have not done well at all. I don't pick them up anymore unless, I've checked the sell-through rate and I know that they're not going to sit for 15 years. Nevertheless, this Remington Gunmaker snapback hat sold for $6.99. Chip Pepper white women's shorts sold for $10.04. Get your shorts listed. It's that time of year. And last but not least, Jansen men's sweater vest. This has been listed a really long time. I think I would have put grandpa and stuff like that now that I know about all of the aesthetic words that you're supposed to be using. But it sold $13.21.
How were yard sales this weekend?
We stayed local. I refuse to do much driving anymore. And we didn't have very much luck Friday. Did we? Well, we didn't buy anything.
We went to 6 or 8 yard sales yesterday here in town and bought nothing.
And then today we went out, and most of the ones we went to were bonus yard sales. And I found vintage plush, and we found vintage clothes, and just some amazing stuff.
We found Levi's and Miss Me jeans for $10 a pair.
We did not buy.
And went around to the next yard sale, and Levi's and it wasn't Hollister, but one of Aeropostale or something like that, $1 a pair. Mm-hmm. And it was just, that yard sale was really good.
Yeah, bought a lot of stuff. Went to a church yard sale, bought a lot there. So it was a good day, but I was thrilled because I got vintage plush. So that always makes you motivated to get them processed, get them listed as quickly as you can.
I got to tell on you on this one. That we had one of the local gas stations was doing a gas buy down today, and found out they were selling gas for $1.99 a gallon. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, they must be selling gas cheap. And Rebel was wanting to use the restroom, but the line was too long. I could not go buy the $1.99 gallon of gas because I
had to go.
Somebody here was too urgent.
There was a long line, and you can understand $1.99 a gallon gas, but Nope, had to go. And by the it was a short time period that they were doing that, so you could have gone back and tried. And we needed gas.
I wonder if these IKEA bags would hold gas. Would they, could I
I don't think they would allow that.
Could you sit in the back and hold them up, maybe?
Yeah, I wonder what that was all about.
I don't know. That's like the main the gas company, gas and oil company, that their main office is right next to that station. That's like their primary station, I think, for one of the marathon stations, I think. But they were doing a special deal today for some reason.
Yeah, they had tons of people out there guiding traffic and everything, but we had to deal with keeping me happy.
And then when I actually did get her to the to the gas station where she could go to the restroom, she didn't lock the door. Lady,
almost walked in on me.
I turned around and saw the lady pulling the door, and I thought, well, Rebel's still in there. Oh, that door came open, and the poor lady's shaking her head, and so I went and stood in front of the door.
I'm old. I'll just call it. What's funny is, I don't even know if this will make it into the video. But what's funny is, when I went in, it was one of those types of doors. You turn the knob, and I thought, I'm going to check it, make sure it stays locked. Well, it seemed locked, but I checked it again. It seemed locked, and it was not locked.
I think you had to pull the door a little tighter.
You had to pull it a little bit more to make the knob go further.
Because it was just sort of catching where if you gave it a little push, it would act like it was locked, but if you gave it a little bit more push, it would pop right open. So,
yeah. Anybody else have one of those days?
So Rebel said she didn't know if this was going to make it in the video. What do y'all think? Should this be in the video?
I don't care. But I got to go get Lance here in just a few minutes. So it's time for somebody to get to work. I'm done for the day. Bye.